what we find out is the fighters in Earthrealm, they're dog shit, and the fighters of Outworld are just killing them before the tournament anyway, so while there are some pretty hard and fast rules, it seems there's no hard and fast rules because everyone's breaking them constantly. Hello and welcome to Blockbuster Reviews. If you don't know what that is, it is where I play a single game of Tetris Marathon and try to review a film before the blocks reach the top or I get to the end of 150 lines. Spoilers are at line 50. So Mortal Kombat, specifically 2021's Mortal Kombat, there was one in the 90s that came out that I could be talking about, but I'm not. I'm talking about the new one. Follows the story of, I believe the gentleman's name is Cole? Well, the movie starts, its opening piece, which is already completely on YouTube, probably to get you to go see the movie. It's about this lineage of the most successful samurai in history, and how this one dude showed up and ended it, but didn't successfully because they hid the last heir in the floorboards. Anyway, it's really about this guy Cole, who's a shitty MMA fighter. I mean, I wouldn't know, I don't watch a lot of MMA, so I don't know anything about him with bad technique or whatever, but he's shown giving a terrible fight, and the guy who puts on the fight says he's dog shit, so I mean, who would I believe except for them? Turns out he is chosen for Mortal Kombat, which I know you guys all know what Mortal Kombat is. I mean, it's been around forever. If you don't know, it's an excuse to get a bunch of people fighting each other and ripping each other's spines and organs out in fantastic deaths. Now, the film follows this Cole guy as he's learning about Mortal Kombat, as he's trying to unlock his inner power to fight Outworld, because Mortal Kombat, of course, is the fight between Outworld and Earthrealm to take control of each other, I guess. That's how ownership of different realms occurs, is through Mortal Kombat. Now, what we find out is the fighters in Earthrealm, they're dog shit, and the fighters of Outworld are just killing them before the tournament anyway, so while there are some pretty hard and fast rules, it seems there's no hard and fast rules because everyone's breaking them constantly. And to the movie, we have characters from the game. Sonya Blade, Jax, Sub-Zero, Reptile, Kano, Liu Kang, Raiden, and they fight each other occasionally, and crazy shit unfolds. Now, here's the reason I'm doing this review. I saw I don't know how much credence I should give it, but I saw almost like an Instagram headline, which is how we all get our news now, especially in entertainment, saying that the writer of this film was interested in making a horror version of the BioShock story for screen. So I knew I had to watch this movie to see what kind of caliber of writing was gonna go towards the possible film adaptation of one of my favorite stories. And I'm just gonna use this time with spoilers away at line 50. Mortal Kombat's not very good. It's a spectacle, and you can't even, I don't know if you can even say that. Because Mortal Kombat, the thing that brings you to Mortal Kombat is insane fights, brutal endings to those fights, fatalities, whatever, and basically your love for the characters you already knew and their moves and everything like that. And this movie does some of that, where some of the moves are recreated, some of the lines are recreated, some of the fatalities and some of the stuff you like from the game. However, it also tries to include this story for people who can show up if they're newcomers, which, I mean, I understand why you did that, but if it's going to be that general and not really appeal to the people that want to go see that story for what they love about Mortal Kombat, I don't think it's going to work. And I mean, I don't have any. I mean, I watched it. I don't want to give away the date. I want these to be timeless. I want these to be as evergreen as possible. But while watching it, I was like, I can't imagine this does very well. I can't imagine that there are people that are like, oh yeah, this is the Mortal Kombat movie I wanted to see. I think the weird Mortal Kombat video that I saw online that got leaked was way better than this. Like, I think the effort to make it have a character that has like a family and a story that's heartwarming brings it down. Because I think the way you make a Mortal Kombat movie is you basically just make Bloodsport, but with cartoon characters. So when they open up with, like, well, this awesome fight scene, which at the beginning of the movie I was like, maybe we're gonna see some cool shit here. And then they're like, here's Cole. He sucks at what he does. It's like, well, then why am I watching him? Oh, he's chosen for the tournament. You know who isn't? Sonya Blade, someone who is in the tournament. Okay, well, why? And it's like, oh, all these arbitrary rules. And here's Kano. He's gonna be with the good guys, even though he's a bad guy. So he's gonna betray them? Well, of course. But it's like, then what kind of setup is that? We all know that he's not a good dude. He's gonna betray them for these evil dudes from Outworld. It just wasn't good. And I don't have any love for Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat wasn't my kind of game. I have no deep affection for it, but I do have deep affection for BioShock. I have a lot of deep affection for its story, for its for the mood of the game, and just how great it was altogether. And knowing that there's a guy out there who made this movie who thinks that he would like to make the horror movie version of it, who just made it for well, Warner Brothers, but it's airing in theaters as well as HBO Max. I don't think he should do it. That's basically all this review is a plea that hopefully the guy who wrote this new Mortal Kombat movie does not make a BioShock movie. Because another interview came out with, I believe it's Gore Verbinski, who's talking about why the BioShock movie didn't get made, and it's because it was a rated R movie based on a video game, and they're like, yeah, no one's gonna be making that movie. Okay, call those dudes back up, see if they're free, because we want to see that movie now. But you know what we don't want to see? A terrible BioShock movie. That's the last thing. And I know that I spent most of this review talking about a movie that doesn't exist, and a video game that isn't what this movie is based on. But I mean, you got the gist. I didn't like the movie. Some of the fight scenes were rad. Some of the music was rad. But the characters and the story itself, I mean, whatever. I didn't like it. I don't have a problem with you liking it. I just don't want the same guy who wrote it to write anything based on one of my favorite video games of all time. And with that, thank you for watching, hopefully to the end. Hope you have a good one. Peace.